don't free Loki, Straw Hat, please don't. And Zoro, he's like, oh, well, you guys are too late. What the fuck happened in this chapter? Road is free. A drunk Usopp is top 3 in the verse. Road has a fetish. I mean, well, that's nothing new, but Road has a fetish and loves getting beat up. What happened in chapter 1141? Let's talk about it. The chapter starts off with Nami. She's pissed because the only reason why she went with Road and Luffy and Zoro is because she wanted to go to the castle. She wanted to get treasure, diamonds, gold, rubies, anything. The money whore that she is, the freaking obsessed cat burglar Nami. She wanted gold, she wanted all the treasure. Ain't nothing there. You know what she had to get instead? 2 wounded giants. You know how pissed off I'd be if I'm looking for a Benjamin Franklin, a Ulysses S. Grant, that $50, $100 bills. I'm looking for those. I'm looking for gold, and I have to bring back some wounded giants. So yeah, I can see why Nami's pissed off. Road doesn't see it, but I definitely can relate to that. Cutting to Frankie's group, we actually learned a little bit more about the treasure tree Adam and the weakness of Elbaph, which is going to be very interesting to see if these 2 individuals are going to play a key role later in the arc, because Ripley talks about how they had to cut off part of the treasure tree Adam because a long time ago, individuals of Elbaph, they used to reside here. However, it caught fire, and in order not to have the fire spread to the rest of the villages and the rest of Elbaph, they cut off part of the tree. And she stated that lightning and fire is Elbaph's weakness. Now, the 2 individuals that I'm talking about that are going to play a key role, at least based off of this statement, would be Sanji, and I think we all expected that because he's part of Monster Trio. He is strong. But another person that I think will be slept on is Nami, and that's because of Zeus. We saw I don't exactly know the specific chapter, but let's say roughly about 10-15 chapters ago, and it might even be less than that, how Nami, she was the one to take down Road after she attacked him with Zeus's lightning. And we know what Sanji is with his Diablo Jamba, with his Ifrit Jamba. Like, the fact that these 2 are going to do something insane, like I said, we already expect it from Sanji. We know what he can do. We know how strong he is. But Nami, I'm not gonna lie, it's not like I think Nami's weak or anything, but were we expecting her to have a prominent role in this arc? And this is me just speculating and I guess kind of projecting, but like I said, based off of what they said with lightning and fire, these 2 are in for some important roles in Elbaph. And I think that this is highlighted a little bit more because after Ripley said this, we cut to Usopp's group, who they are drunk as all get out. Him and Brook, they are wasted, and Usopp, he grabs Nami, introduces her to Zoro, because he was like, hey Nami, where'd you go? It don't fucking matter. All right, let's go talk to Zoro. Hey, this is our genius navigator. She's a beauty, right? You want her? Like, hey, Usopp's trying to pass her off, and Zoro's like, I like older women. I mean, the dude is falling off the bones, so he better like older women. The fact that if he wouldn't even said anything about Nami, I get acknowledge her beauty, but if he would have talked about her, he would have been like one of those unks at the barbecue when you bring your girl and they're just out here looking. They're like, like, hey nephew, tell her to bring me something. Like, no, that's weird. That's weird. Drunk Usopp, he might be more of a menace than Drunk Lee, because whenever Zoro said that, Usopp, he flashed that, hit the sword that's sticking out of the head, making him look like a unicorn, smacked the shit out of him, and he was just talking his ish. Of course that's gonna hurt. The fact that Usopp moved that quickly, he didn't give a fuck about what he was doing, and he just did it off of impulse and instinct. Drunk Usopp is top 3 in the verse. I will not debate that with anybody. It is fact. It is law. But of course, Usopp, he's at ease. He's going around just having a good time because, number one, he's drunk. I mean, from personal experience, I know you're going to be as loose as all get out when you have a little bit of alcohol in your system. But at the same time, it's been his dream for getting to Elbaph ever since Little Garden, ever since we were introduced to Dory and Broggy. So of course he's going to feel at home, he's going to feel at ease and be able to let loose, and I'm happy for him. I know I talk a little bit of ish about Usopp, I talk trash about him talk about how weak he is, but it is nice to see part of his dream getting realized and everything that he's worked for, him getting to celebrate like this. It's a joy to watch. Sanji, anytime there's not a woman around, he's looking, he's itching, he's like, hey man, where the fuck Gerd at, man? Where the fuck Gerd at? Because we know how Road and Nami brought the two giants back. Gerd, she is the medic, so she's looking at him, she's like, for them to be guards and them to be pretty strong, somebody that isn't human had to do something like this, because they have different broken bones, they're wounded. And she looks at Road and is like, what happened? And you know Road is weird, all right? I don't like him, I don't hate him, he's a weirdo, but overall Road is a good guy. He's got some fetishes, he got some shit he gotta work out, he got some shit he gotta work on, but overall Road is not a bad person, and he's not trying to snitch on Nami and Zoro and anybody like that, because he knows if he snitches, he's like, oh, I'm dead. I am dead. I'm going to be called a co-conspirator. I am fucked. Because we know that if you even try to release Loki or even bring it up, that is a terrible crime. And so Road, he is sweating bullets because number one, Gerd is looking at him like he is freaking in love the way that woman is looking at him. And like I said, I can't blame her because she is bad. I can understand why Sanji might be the Mountain Eater 2.0. But yeah, Road, he's weighing his options, trying not to snitch or say anything. And you know, we all think that Gerd, she just let it go and that Road's in the clear. Nah, she spun the block, whacked him upside the head, and she is interrogating this dude and is gonna find out what it is he's hiding. And Road, like I said, he has a fetish because he's getting beat up. He's gotten beat up a couple of times in his arc and likes it. Maybe he likes getting spanked. I like that. But if you guys have made it this far into the video and you're enjoying the content, let me know by leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. I pump out different One Piece content almost each and every day. The chapter cuts to Zoro and Luffy. They are at Loki, he looks like he's seen some shit, all right? And rightfully so, because he got attacked by Cerberus, got attacked by Gunko. Loki is battered, bruised, and Zoro's like, this is the guy that everybody was scared of. And Luffy's looking at him, he's like, Zoro, this is not the guy that I saw a while ago. He was not this battered and beaten up. Zoro talks about how Loki, this nigga is big, and he even compares him to Oars, which makes a lot of sense because Oars was an ancient giant. Loki has ancient giant blood, so it all makes sense. And because he is so beat up, Luffy's like, medic, we need a medic, we need to get this dude some help. And Zoro, he's looking, he's like, no, why are we gonna do that? He is a bad person. They're clashing. I love seeing this because I love the fact that Luffy's doing his thing. He wants to do whatever he wants to do, but Zoro, he's trying to keep Luffy in check. They're arguing. He's not going to be a yes man. I love it whenever friends bicker, whenever they argue or have different disagreements, because, well, it's like that IRL, so it definitely would be like this in One Piece. I will say, I love Zoro. I really do. I think he is an oral farmer. I think he's badass. I think he is cool, but he is on some bullshit during this chapter because he ended up going up to Loki, kicking him. Like I said, this man is wounded. He kicked him. Loki ends up screaming, hollering, rightfully so. He got attacked by the Holy Knights. And so Zoro, after kicking him, he's like, oh, well, I guess he's not faking it, because he wouldn't be screaming like this if he was faking it. Yeah, nigga, like, Zoro, did you not see him? What is there to fake? He is chained up. How is he going to scheme all of this? I do find it funny though how Loki, after getting hit, he's like, damn, what was that? And then he ends up drooping his head, and Zoro's like, oh, he's dead. I guess if he couldn't survive that long, that's all fate led it up to be. And I like that because I believe after Zoro got his first sword, one of the Katetsu blades, Katetsu 3, he always talking about faith, always talks about how if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. This is how far I go. And you know, so Zoro relating fate and like this is what his destiny is, that's just in Zoro's character. So I love that little detail. Zoro, he finally goes along with Luffy. He's like, all right, let's free Loki, but we're gonna leave these sea prison cuffs that are around his ankles, around his legs. We're gonna leave them there so that he's still able to move, he's still able to do stuff, but he's not fully fully free. He's like 90% free, and that way we can ask questions and still be able to take him out if need be. But they're going to look for a doctor because, well, Loki might not last too long, so they're going to look for that, as well as they're already going to make preparations to leave because since freeing Loki is a crime, they're probably going to get banished from Elbaph. Then out of nowhere, the new giant pirates Haruded, Gerd, Road, and everyone, they end up, even Sanji, he's here obviously. If Gerd's there, Sanji's there. They're heading towards Luffy's group. They're about to crash, and Luffy uses his Gumma Gumma no balloon, and then he ends up saving them, which is a huge feat because he had to protect the giant ship that is flying in. And it is bigger than giants because obviously it will have to hold all 4 or 5 of them. I think it's 4 of them. So it'll have to hold the 4 of them and be big enough to support that. So that is a huge and massive feat from Luffy. Once again, so many of the giants, once they land, they talk about the importance of why Loki should be chained up and how as a kid he said different things to be nice, but he was actually trying to deceive people. Don't free Loki, Straw Hat, please don't. And Zoro, he's like, oh, well, you guys are too late because Zoro had already uncuffed him. And all of a sudden we see this insane panel of Loki is all blooded, he's battered, he's bruised, he's standing up, Luffy's next to him. The two auras are just, it is insane. This reminds me so much of Luffy standing up after he was beaten up a little bit after defeating Arlong. And so Luffy was like, whoa, I thought that Loki was out cold. How is he standing up like this? Because like I mentioned, after Zoro kicked him, he ended up dropping dead in quotes. And I think that Loki, his personality is just, he's a jokester, that he loves to play pranks and go around and do stuff. And maybe it's not the most ideal humor to everyone, but I still don't think he's a bad guy. Like I said, based off of what everybody is saying about him and how they're talking about it, it's just way too in your face. And Harold, we already know that nigga's a snake, that he has some connection to the Holy Knights. And also one more thing, Loki, he ends up picking up his hammer, he ends up picking up Ragnir. What the hell? Like, why do y'all even allow him? If y'all think Loki is that much of a menace, that much of a bad guy, why the hell is that weapon right at his disposal, right next to him? You would think that they would move it somewhere, they would get rid of it, something, but not. It's literally right next to him. So, and if anything, y'all are the dumbasses. So that's the end of the chapter. I assume in the next one that it's going to be the monster trio versus Loki, or in some way, shape, or form, everybody is going to clash. At least we know Luffy and Zoro are definitely going to, and I am looking forward to it because yes, the new giant pirates, they're here, they're probably going to try to do something, but the type of man that Luffy is, he's going to be like, nah nigga, I got this, take a step back, we're going to handle this. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. We'll love to see Luffy box, we'll love to see, hey, maybe Zoro, he ends up blocking the hammer with his swords. I think he did something similar to Oars back during Thriller Bark. Sanji with his fire abilities, they talk about how fire is a weakness. Maybe Sanji will get on the action. Really looking forward to the next chapter. It's going to be great. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about this chapter in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow my Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok is on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.